Welcome to the world of Toriko, episode 306. Learning Embu, Training Day, Part 1. Mulan. Camp. Stuff like that. And this week's episode, the breakdown. Could you learn Embu if you had the skill? Who knows? So this week, we got Toriko. I'm just gonna hold this up so I'm constantly like facing the viewers instead of like, oh, I'm so into my phone. Okay, so we got this week. Spoilers. Not really spoilers, but you know, if you could see that. Learning to juggle. Something that I don't have at all. Alright, so this week in Toriko, they're basically learning how to, like I said earlier, learning how to juggle. So now with the if you read the last episode, excuse my pick, just gonna put that behind me. If you remember from the last episode, there has been a lot of talk about how they're going to get a grasp on this armadillo pillbug creature. Not armadillo, it's a pillbug. But how they're going to grasp this pillbug when it can change its status as either weightless or 10 billion tons, not really that number, that was an exaggeration, or they're going to, you know, they have to kind of juggle this thing. And me, I don't even know how to juggle. You know, I kind of suck at juggling. This is going to be my best attempt at juggling. I'm a big fan of Domo, so I have three of my Domos. This is me juggling. All right. So they gotta do something to this extent with. They gotta do something. Oh God! They gotta do something to this extent with a live creature that can change its mass at will. So that's gonna be the hardest part for any of the team for Toriko to understand. And Sock Monkey will be joining us for the rest of the podcast. So now what they have to do is they have to learn how to juggle, as I was saying. And Toriko's missing, and he just can't get his cells to cooperate. He's like, you know, I'm trying my best, but for some reason, you know, there's something that's out of sync. One doesn't want to, one wants to be lazy, one wants to do this, and none of them are staying in sync. So he's like, okay, let me see if I could try to get them, which is weird to be able to like look at your forearm and then just see the cells in your arms are basically like many tiny versions of you, doing all of the weird things that you would normally do in like an incredibly emotional day, and they're just fighting with each other and slapping each other and stepping on each other and eating food and stuff, and it's like, you know, all of this is happening in my arm. It's kind of gross. Parasites. Then you have Coco trying, which I would think Coco would use his hair, I would think, because you know, you would try to at least use the best part of your power, but I guess he would try to use his hands. But I would think he'd be using his hair. Maybe not satin hair, but, you know, at least just his normal, like spatula flip. And Coco, I probably said Coco's using his hair. I meant Sunny. Coco's sitting there still trying to analyze this. Now, Coco has a lot of, I would say, helpful abilities. Like one of those abilities being the fact that he can read electromagnetic waves. So when you can see electromagnetic waves in a creature, you can see the distortion of how it happens when they change something, when they get angry, when they get upset, when they're about to move, things like that. You can see all of that stuff. So what he's struggling with is right now is that the changes in the electromagnetic field is so quick that he still, even from the last episode where he couldn't react physically, even mentally he can't react fast enough to how this thing works. And of course the chimp that was helping him out last time is still over there juggling like it's all good, just okay, you know, like blowing it in their face, and Sunny's like, shut up! Yeah! So, now we got my boy Zebra sitting in the back. He chilling in the back. Angry. I got too cocky. There has to be a way that I know about in my constant fighting prowess. There must be something. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, is Zebra gonna figure it out first, or, you know, is he gonna, or is he just gonna be stumped like the rest of the guys? So they're still trying to juggle. Now, also you see Terry Cloth, Kiss, and Queen trying to juggle them themselves, because they know, even though they're young now, which they have wild sense, which is a little bit more heightened than the human sense, they know now that eventually they're going to be the predecessors to the 8 kings of the gourmet world. So they know they have to be up to snuff if they want to keep up with the kings that are up there now, especially since they already got a taste with Heracles. So they're thinking like, oh, okay, we got to train too. You know, we can't be slouching while, how are we supposed to back up our human companions if we can't even do it ourselves? So Kaka's like, yeah, you have to master this. You have to understand how this works. And it's something that you have to get your whole body to do. And then Toriko being inquisitive, he's like, well, Kaka, how many can, like, the generals lift? Or, you know, because it seems like, you know, if he's lifting like 3, they have to be lifting maybe 10? And Kaka basically explains to her, like, oh yeah, the top of the class is like 10. Elites are like 20. And those generals, the one that you took out, is like 50. So he's sitting there thinking like, I beat that guy, but he can do 50 of these and I can't even do 1? What is going on? So Kaka's like, yeah, you gotta figure out what's going on. So it's the end of the day. And, you know, they haven't gotten much progress due to the fact that, you know, nobody can get the juggling down. So Toriko's still stumped, Sunny's still stumped, Zebra's still all the way to the left, like thinking like, I don't know how I'm gonna figure this out. And they're wondering how it's gonna happen. And they're saying like, well, maybe if we did this, or, you know, maybe if we keep at it, you know, we can do this. And then Coco's basically saying like, you know, the gods always give their divine judgment to somebody who's constantly trying. They don't like quitters. So, and then like Sunny's like looking at him like, bruh, like, really though? You saying the gods? Usually you rely on your own abilities and your premonitions to help everything. It's kind of weird hearing you talk about gods at a time like this. And then all of a sudden, this spark of like energy just flows over the entire mountain. And they're like, what is that? And then after you scroll over a couple times, then you see Bambina is sending out a pure, like, maelstrom of rage for only a second. 1 second. He sent this thing out for a second, and Toriko is basically flashbacking like as if you were about to get hit by a car. Like, imagine somebody with like a battle axe coming at you with all of the rage in the world, and you're in the corner of your house and nowhere to run. Or somebody's got a gun pointed to your face, because I don't even know how I would react if I had a gun pointed to me. I don't know. I have like weird tendencies. But like, or like if you're in the middle of the street, or if you're about to be in a car accident, like a big one, or like, you know, you're about to fall off of a bridge or something, and you know, something life-threatening to where you literally see your life flash before your eyes. This is what Monkey King Bambina did to the crew. To the whole crew. Everybody caught that wave. And Toriko, like right now you're just seeing Toriko's entire 30 years in the span of 1 page. And you're like, what are all of these memories that's happening right now? And Toriko basically reveals to himself that, you know, in that split second, like Bambina just emitted so much rage that it seemed like, again, we were on the verge of death. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do with that. And then of course, Bambina still being childish is like, that's what it is. I shouldn't be mad at them. Maybe I was such a good hide and seeker. No, he was hiding in plain motherfucking sight. I'm such a great hide and seeker that they just couldn't find me. Well, let me go back to the top of the mountain, because, you know, I'm the greatest. at hide and seek, and I'm the best. And he just like zooms off out of nowhere. And like while after he like dips off, the rest of the crew is still in there in like shock, like, oh god, did we almost just die again? Oh my The sheer bloodlust of Bambina was so incredible that the 30 years of my life that I had in the span of a second just flashed in between my eyes, and I don't know what Wait. That's it! So they figured out that even though it was caused by sheer terror, there's certain emotions in your body that aligns everything into one feeling. Sheer terror of your life is one of those feelings. And what Toriko figured out is that this is what he needs to have to commune his entire cells, which makes you think that all of the monkeys that learned Embu most likely learned it due to the fact that they are scared of the Monkey King's power. And they don't know, because he's so unpredictable, they don't know what he's capable of. So out of sheer fear, they're able to learn Embu extremely quickly. Toriko now realizes this and realizes that all of his cells at that split second were all working together to understand why they were about to die and what they were going to do. But they were all in that like shock, deer in the headlights thing. So then he's like, guys, I figured it out. Oh my god. And then like, yeah. And then Zebra's like, that's what it is. Now, the weird thing about Zebra is when he first like went up against Monkey King Bambina, Zebra didn't display a level of fear that Toriko did or Sunny or Coco, but I felt like there was a hint, like a tiny, tiny hint of fear when Bambina first appeared that first time. Now, Zebra this time seems like he's unfazed by Bambina's death glare that just happened a second ago. And the reason why is because he was deep in thought, because he remembered that he's also one of those extremely powerful creatures in this universe. And he's also put that same fear in many creatures like himself. So he said, like, so that's how you do it. The sheer terror that all of the creatures that I've slain have felt when they were about to bite the dust is the way that they unite all of their cells. Which I was thinking, like, at this point, Zebra was gonna get up and just be like, hand me one of those freaking stupid pill bugs. And he like starts juggling one, he's like, give me another, and starts juggling another, give me another, and then he starts juggling like 5 or 6. I thought Zebra was gonna just show the team like, yeah, even though Toriko's the name of the show, I am still the strongest of the group. But, you know, he didn't. But Toriko then displays what he learned from this newfound power. And he starts to juggle. Miraculously, even though the pillbug tried to emit a smoke screen to try to get away, he still caught it. And it was like, wow, they did it. So now after the first day, they finally have learned the first step into Embu. So that's chapter 306. My rating for this episode, I'm gonna give it a 4.0 out of 5. Mainly because, you know, it was just an informative and not a lot happened. And you know, you give stuff points for the action, but I like that they kind of revealed how it was going to happen. I kind of wondered if it was going to be something else, though, how they were going to get all the cells to cooperate. But generally, fear usually does most of the work when it comes to stuff like this. But, yeah, I'm going to give it a 4.0. It was a good chapter, very informative, very intuitive with what was going on in the chapter. And I also like the fact that, you know, Zebra, even though he almost died if it were not for Coco, he's calm right now. So what I'm wondering is, when is Zebra gonna show us something cool? Now, Zebra has always had something incredible that he would do, but what I want to see, because you know how Toriko had some new moves, Coco got new moves, Sunny got new moves, but Zebra, the only thing that was new that he admitted, and like he did it in the show, I think, but mainly in the comic. The only thing I think that he did that was new was probably Death Sound, which was a pretty cool ability. But I really want to see like a brand new, just for Bambina, like a brand new voice attack, like I don't know, like Sonic Needle or Sound Destruction, Singularity Boom. I don't know, but that's my rating for this episode. Like, subscribe, comment. Check out Medium Level. I'm gonna be posting some stuff about that on my Facebook and Twitter. Well, I think it goes to Twitter or whatever. But check it out. I'm gonna leave it in the description below. All of the websites and names for the websites that you can check out when you go there. And next week, hopefully, Nanatsu no Taizai will be dropping, because this week it didn't drop. But I do have the video review, which will be coming after, or actually, yeah, after this. Actually, before this. So check that out. Nanatsu no Taizai, episode 11, Bond versus Meliodas. And then I'm also catching up on a few other mangas. I'm gonna start reading Kingdom. Due to one of my subscribers letting me know, a boy down there, and due to also one of my friends telling me about it. And that's basically it. So comment, subscribe, like everything, share it everywhere, and do what you do. Omega Okami. Keep breathing. Maybe you could do like voice solo. Voice solo! No. Be a good one. Maybe what would be another sound thing? Like amplifier. Oh, what if one of his new attacks was like an amplifier? So he does like meteor noise and then does like a low set trap move. Actually, oh no. What if he did like something like that? So then he does like, okay, he shoots like these tiny little like shot bullets that latch onto the enemy, and then when the enemy's like sitting there looking at it like this doesn't do anything, they try to brush it off, but it looks like it disappears, but it really doesn't. And then he does like meteor noise, and then once it hits the enemy, they kind of get hit by it, and then they're like, oh well, whatever. Oh, amplifier! He's like Toriko-san, voice amplifier. I don't know. Whatever.